Hi, I'm Jack Godfrey with Southdale Wellness. This is the three-part breath, part 2. In part 1, we went into quite a bit of detail on how to do the three-part breath, and obviously working on the three parts. So I'm going to do a bit of a review here, and then we're going to look at one of the challenges with getting a full deep breath. And we touched on it lightly in the previous session. It's the hunched back, also known as a turtle back in our Qigong practice. So we're like this, and we're looking at our phone, we're looking at our tablet, we're working on our computer, whatever. We're constantly hunched over. And one of the things you can do is you can work on lifting the ribs and so on, but that doesn't necessarily work. And so we're going to look at using a chair to help get a nice straight spine, a nice open lungs, lots of room in the abdomen so that we can breathe deeply. But before we get to the chair, we're going to review how to do the three-part breath, assuming that you can have a nice long spine, a nice open abdomen with lots of room here. So the three-part breath involves, well, one way to look at it, 3 balloons. The biggest one down here in the abdomen, so you want to expand and fill this balloon with as much air as possible. Then the next balloon, somewhat smaller, is here in the lungs, behind the ribs, behind the sternum. And so we're going to fill that balloon up as well, as much as possible. And then the third balloon, the smallest one of all, is up here, just below the collarbones. And so we're looking to fill that as well. So we breathe in. We breathe in, we breathe in, we pause for a second, and then we exhale. Now, as we talked about earlier, we're going to have a nice straight back here so we can get a very deep breath. And when we do breathe in and fill everything up and just pause for that 1 second, there's a good probability you're going to cough. I do quite frequently when I'm doing this, so a cough is expected. Now the other bit is you breathe in through your nose, and in through your nose, and then you exhale completely from the nose. And as we exhale, we pull the belly button in, we pull up the pelvic floor so that we can get all of that air, all of that oxygen, all of that qi out of the body. So we're going to do a few trial runs here. And so we start here. Bring the hands to the abdomen, inhaling to the ribs, and here. So you inhale, filling the abdomen as much as possible. Inhaling. So you use the hands to help remind you, where am I at in the cycle? So it's inhale for the abdomen. Inhale into the lungs, behind the sternum, and inhale for just at the very top of the lungs. And then exhale, the hands come down again. We pull up the tailbone, we pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the navel, and we exhale as much as possible. And as you saw, you may or may not cough depending on what's going on. Now we're going to get involved with the chair here to help keep our back nice and straight and keep room for us to breathe in here, and breathe in here. So I'll take a moment here to get settled in the chair, and then we'll try some more breathing. Also, you don't need a chair. You could, worst case, lay on the floor, lay on a couch, and have your heels next to your hips. Another one, if you're familiar with yoga poses, you could also do happy baby pose, where you're holding on to your toes above your head while laying on the floor. But I'm going to lay on the floor and use the chair here. So here we are on the floor, and what you're looking to do is get the thighs as vertical as possible and the shins, parallel to the floor as well. So you could use, I'm using a chair, you could use a bolster, a stool, a couch, whatever you have available. And now, you know, the whole torso is laying flat on the floor, so let's see what we can do here. Hands on the abdomen, inhale. You want to keep the head on the floor, so inhale through the nose. And remember, as you're exhaling, pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the navel. This helps to get all of the air out of the lungs. So we start again. So inhale. And we'll do one more breath. The three-part breath, laying on the floor, making sure that you get a straight back, creating lots of space for the lungs to breathe deep. This will help increase your lung capacity, get more fuel into your lungs, and get more trash out of your lungs as well. So that's it for today.